Welcome back to Sampstra Games, the place to find new strategy games, and today we're gonna play Acolyte of the Altar. This is a demo for a roguelike deck builder. So always with roguelike deck builders, it's important to ask like what makes it different from all the hundreds of other roguelike deck builders that exist. With this game, it's about the way the enemy fights back. This is also a card positional deck builder in a sense, so that's also quite interesting from like some of the, let's say, basic or traditional deck builders, so that's also pretty cool. Now this is a demo, so I really like the atmosphere of the game, but there are a lot of things that are kind of unexplained. I assume that that is because it's a demo, so I'm quite curious if they're going to have some additional interesting effect. Now in the beginning you can choose a greater and lesser patron. In the demo, it makes no difference. They give you the same effect. I'm assuming once it's going to be a full game that like the lesser patron will give you less off. For example, right now you can pick this guy and he gives you 3 healing, whether he's a lesser patron or a main patron, but presumably in the main game, it's going to maybe give you like 1.5 here or something. That's what I would expect. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense why one is greater, one is lesser. Otherwise it just be choose 2 patrons, right? So the Empress bargain with transcendental horrors in exchange for knowledge. They stall for time until they can summon these beings to annihilate their foes. And the lesser patron we're gonna pick is the Ravager. So it allows us to start with the 1/1 Windcrawler, which is just a creature. With armies of imp captained by mountainous champions, Ravagers take down beasts before they can react. This third one is not it's locked in the demo, so you can't pick anything there. Now here, you can pick this. This feels like it works kind of like Ascensions in like say the Spire or similar deck builders, where basically you can increase the difficulty of the game by picking something. For example, with Altruism, you get only 2 cards to pick from when you get a new card. I haven't seen any bonus given to the game for this, so it's basically just like an increased difficulty if you're good at the base game. So it's not really something that you would want to pick at the beginning because it doesn't give you anything extra in exchange for the fact that you're taking this extra challenge. Now at the beginning you can choose a gift and you will be taking more of them. Now this gift increases spiritual burden, which right. So the spiritual burden, what this does is it actually like lowers your the number of cards you draw. So if you have too high spiritual burden because you took too many gifts, you'll be drawing less cards. So we can pick, and you can see like this is going to give us 4, this is going to give us 2. So with Shears and Tread, when you attack with 4 or more creatures, give them +1/+1 on this round. We would have to have a lot of small creatures and a lot of card draw, so I think we're just going to go for Giant Lantern, deal 1 after you cast a spell. And this is going to give us a low light burden so we don't get a negative effect. Alright, so the first thing we've got here is this Overlord. So this card is really cool because basically you place cards on the board and then you choose which of these you use to attack. And if you Overlord gets activated if they do not attack, if basically they stay behind. I honestly feel like the Overlord name doesn't really fit that idea very well. I would maybe put something like strategist or a planner or something along those lines, because Overlord to me feel like this is a really strong guy, but basically this guy is just like, hey, I'm gonna stay behind and make everybody else give you +1 attack, so that doesn't feel very Overlordy to me, but it's just what it's called. But basically if he stays behind then everybody else gets +1 attack, so it's a really good ability. I just think the name's a little bit weird. Here is the mana you have. You currently only have 1 mana, so the only thing you could play is this. You do not want to play this because this is basically like it costs any number of mana up until 5, which my suggestion would be to, instead of having this to say X. So the way they have this is that this is the number that is applicable for the turn. So next turn if I have 2 mana, this is going to say 2, which is pretty nice. But it can sometimes make you feel a little bit confused because if you're like, oh, this is a 2 mana card and you play it, but no, this is actually a special card that you would really want to play once it gets up to 5. So I might write something like X or X and 5 in parentheses or something along so, or X and once you get to 5 mana, then it would say 5. Because it is a special card and you don't want to like accidentally play it. So just a little ideas, because I played a lot of deck builders and this is a demo, so I feel like the demo is the time to give suggestions. So basically we can't play anything this turn. So we're just gonna, it feels bad, but we only have 1 mana, so it's fine. So we're gonna end our turn here. And basically, then it's the beast turn. So the way the beast works is that they have these abilities, and they basically sort of activate them or open them. Some of them take more. Oh, this is actually not a good enemy. Oh, okay, this is a bad enemy for us because we're gonna die like soon. Actually, no. How does this work, right? So first they have spin. This basically will summon length of threats until you're bored. So this is like a 0/1 creatures. Then measure is going to immediately kill all the creatures that have been placed, and this will give the enemy tokens, measure tokens. And for each 3 of the measure tokens, this cut will do damage to us. So basically, if you don't place anything this turn, they will get like 6 measure tokens, and then the cut will do damage. So I'm actually going to play 1 creature. And what you want to do here is you want to place basically as a you want to have as a filled up board as possible, so you lower the tokens that they get, because they basically get +4. No, it was 5 maybe. So they now have 8. So now the cut does 2 damage every turn. The thing is, I still need to place something, so I'm actually going to place this guy. He will take 2 damage, but he will survive. And that's just because I really need to start placing stuff, otherwise we're going to be in big trouble. So this thing does 2 damage. Oh, I thought, oh, okay, it does 4 now, okay. Okay, let's summon 2 cannon fodder again, just so we get a bunch of stuff. Now this does 4 damage, but the benefit is that the overkill goes to your hero. So basically, we're going to have some time to place more creatures. We're going to be able to, so we're going to play 2 more creatures immediately following this. Unless I can play more. No, I can only play 2. So let's play 2. Now at this point we can finally attack with our first creature, because the Overlord stays behind. We're actually going to be able to attack for 3, not 2. Now this thing will immediately die and we will take damage. But like I said, we can at least place a few more creatures, which should help us survive a bit longer. I can also give myself this borrowed life to survive a bit longer. So we're going to place 2 of these creatures. And then I'm going to use the mana Kelpoi for 4 instead of 5. It's not as good, but basically I just need to stop this measure, because otherwise they're doing 6 damage every turn, which is obviously huge. So I need to really like start placing stuff on the ground. Oh, and I should have attacked, but I forgot. It's okay, we'll do it now. Now we're going to place another one of these creatures, and I'm going to give myself borrowed life, and then we're going to attack with all of these, and they all get +1 damage because of this guy. Now this guy is going to die, so you might say, well, why don't you attack with him? Well, because if I attack with him, you won't get the Overlord bonus, so we actually don't want to do that. Now we are going to win this one without too much trouble, because we're going to get hit now, but we have 2 borrowed points, and we heal at the end of each turn, so it's pretty fine. But this is a pretty tough one when you start with 1 mana. If you already started with 2 mana, it would be easier, but with 1, it's kind of like, okay. So right now you might be thinking, wait, you're going to die. Well, no, because remember, now we can just attack. So basically we can just win right now. Right, so this is just like, if we attack with everybody, we just won the game. Right, so it's fine. Like, again, this was not the greatest matchup for first game. If we had a little bit more mana, it would have been fine, but that's okay. Now, this is interesting, the Possessed Disciple, because on death, it summons somebody else. So this is good against these big, like, basically, against an enemy like we just had, where you need to have a big board to survive. And now these other 2 are interesting. The problem with them is that they're expensive. And like you saw, the problem with our game is we are basically a control deck. In deck builders, control decks means that they are good when you have more mana, not at the beginning. The decks that are good at the beginning are called aggro decks. So basically we are 2 sort of top end heavy. We're good with like 5-6 mana, which is the top end here. But we're bad, or for us so far, but we're bad at the beginning. So I need to take this guy, even if the other abilities are way better, because we don't really have an option to survive later. Now, with the thing I just harvest, you might ask what that means. I don't actually know. I haven't found any description on what it does. Now, these ram and bite abilities, they will activate after a certain amount of turns. So the only thing they'll get at the beginning is the bite. So I'm going to start with an Impling, just because we want to have something. You can see I'm at 6 health now, so we'll see. So what is bite doing? Bite just deals 2 damage, so we're pretty good there. Again, I think we just want to place a couple of creatures. We're going to do 1 basic attack, take 2 damage, but we will survive. Now 1 more turn and they'll activate Ram, which is going to be a problem. So absolutely we want to have more creatures. And we always want to attack with the creatures that we have already. Right, so what does ram do? Let's see. Rams the leftmost creature into its neighbor, damaging each by the other's attack. Very interesting. So whatever I place is gonna take 3 damage from this guy. So if I place a 10 cannon fodder, one of them will probably insta-die. So I think I'm gonna place this manacle thing, because at least it will survive that one turn. You might say that we should have not placed anything, but I think we need to place something just so we can, like, at least next turn we'll be able to do 4 damage once, basically. I'm gonna give myself a borrowed... Oh, so I can't activate this because it needs to go for 2 turns again. So actually now we have a little bit of time. So we're gonna place just a bunch of creatures just to sort of get started. Now they're gonna get this big bite next time, which is presumably gonna be a problem. Yeah, you can see in one more turn they can act. So what does this bite? Oh, it just deals 2 damage, so it's not too bad. Okay, but right now everybody would die. So let's summon 2 cannon fodder. Okay, so they're at the beginning. So this actually went really well for us. And they can immediately attack, so we can just do a bunch of damage here. We won't be able to win yet, but next turn... Yeah, all of these are gonna die, but next turn I can do 3 damage. I can't place the Overlord, which is a little sad, but... I can place both of these now, so I'm gonna be able to do 4 damage, which is nice. It's not quite enough, but a turn after that we should be able to win with this, whatever this is, Possessed Disciple. And we didn't take any damage this turn, which is obviously huge, because that means that next turn we're back to 9. So you can see, like I said, the first matchup was pretty bad. This is a pretty easy matchup, I would say. You just have to sort of move your things around. So it really depends what you get, which is, of course, normal in deck builders. What I really like in this deck builder is the fact that you lose these tiny disciples when you pick a new card. And basically, this is good because oftentimes, like one of the difficulties in deck builders is basically you gotta remove cards because you get these basic like strike and defend cards, which in this case is like basic creatures like this one, that are kind of pointless and they're sort of polluting your deck. And because these are automatically removes, I think it gives you a bit more incentive to just like go and pick out new cards. So I quite like that. It makes the game a little bit easier, but I think it's pretty fun. So you only got like big cards. So let's check them out. Divine Executioner. If you have played no creature cards this battle, destroy an enemy ability. Well, we don't have a way to play this. Like this would be really good if we had a lot of spells, but we don't have a lot of spells. But it is an interesting for like a spell build. Master and Rider. Kill target creature and raise my stats by theirs. Oh, this is fantastic. Resummon. Oh, like what? Why would you even read anything else? That is so good. You immediately get a friend of this. Okay, so this is when you can pick a choice. So I picked the Lost Dog in my test game. This is pretty great because you get this card that if it dies, it gets Forsaken, which the game doesn't tell you what it means. It should. I'm assuming it will at the end of the game. It's just in the demo. It doesn't. But basically what it means that you can't play it again this turn. This battle until, so you get it again until next battle. It's just like a perma disappear, doesn't go into the discard pile. What it means. But the Lost Dog shoots for 3 at the end of each turn, and then it moves to backline. So it basically hides behind other creatures. It's very, very interesting. But what we're gonna pick here is the False Prophet, because I want to see what it does, and I'm just curious. An old man in a gilded robe approaches you. 50. And I will keep. He's holding a small bowl and a knife. The blood in these veins is miracle. Oh, I don't have enough. Okay, so we get nothing. But we can pick a gift. The first creature summon each turn gains front line. Ooh. So this is interesting. Normally the way you place creatures is you place them in a backline situation, so you place them closest to you. But for example, if you had a dog, this would be very good because you can protect your weaker creatures. But well, I think we gotta go for thick shell though. Because like we become immune for the rest of enemy turns the first time we hit 10 and the first time we hit 5. So we can't hit 9, so we won't get the 10 bonus. Oh, they're gonna activate all of their abilities like ASAP. Okay, let's start with a simple imp link, as we do at the beginning, and let's find out what does this guy have. Flip the health. Oh, okay. So this is okay. Flip the health and attack of a creature and cannot see enemy intents this fight. Deal 2 damage. Fungi Flurry will trigger 2 or 3 times. Yeah, so this is not great. This is basically doing 3 times 2 damage. So the way to survive this is you need to have at least 7 damage on board, 7 health on board every single turn, which is really hard to do. So this is not a great fight to fight against. Well, actually, it's not true. You don't need to have 6 health. You need to have like a creatures that have at least 3 health, so they sort of like waste it. If I place a creature, they will immediately murder it. So I'm actually gonna use this borrowed life thing instead. Now they will flip possibly this one, so it will turn into a 1/3, which is really good for us because that means that the Fungi Flurry will have to hit him twice. Okay, so it actually only activated 2 times this time. The Wind Up Punch, if I took no damage last turn, deal 3 to you directly. Okay, so this is really bad because this means we're probably going to die, if I'm being honest. This is as bad as it could have gotten for us. Because... Wait. If I took no damage... Okay, no. So as long as we hit him, we're good. So actually, we're good here. Because we hit him, so we won't get hit here. Now he's gonna... Okay, so we actually would like it if we could swap this guy. So it could turn to 1/3. That'd be really good for us. Okay, good. We're getting pretty lucky so far that he's not hitting us. I'm gonna play the 4/4. It's a little bit early, but basically I can't afford to end up in a situation where they would hit me in the face. So I gotta start placing creatures even if they kill them. Now, could you please swap this one's health? Yes, thank you. This is great because we're wasting the Fungi Flurry. So this fight actually seems pretty easy now that we're playing it together, but when I played it by myself in my test game, it was actually one of my hardest fights because it's just really... It's just really... Like, if you're not prepared for this, it's gonna get really hard. I'm gonna place this rider. Just because... Oh, I have to kill my creature. In that case, can I change my mind? I can't. Oh, I have to do it. Okay, then. Okay, 9/7. I mean, oh, and now we're gonna take 3 damage to our face. So see, this was, I thought, okay, I misunderstood that. Because I thought it was like, I imagined it on attack, but it did say on play. So, okay, 7/9 is okay. We will survive, but we got hit here for 3, so that's not great. Okay, but we can place like a bunch of creatures now, so we're gonna be good. And I can attack for 7. It will probably die this turn unless we get lucky and it swaps this guy's, like, no, okay. If it swapped for 5, well, actually maybe the Fungi Flurry will only hit twice. We'll find out, I guess. It hit twice, good. I'm gonna place 2 cannon fodder because I don't want my big guy to get hit. And we're gonna attack with basically everybody. And we won. Done pretty well, I must say. Ooh. Lose 3 life, grant me attack equal to the number of other creatures we have. You can do this. Frontline, grant all creatures one attack. This is really nice because I think the way this works is that you can attack and then you can attack again. That's not how I would assume it works. Oh, what is this? Swallow. Oh, if this kills a creature, it gains health. Oh, this is not good for us. If stomach content is less than 3, deal 8 overkill. Decreases by 1 every other turn. If stomach content is 10 or more, it bursts and I die. If stomach content is 0, I starve and I die. How do we... So we need to either survive 5 turns. Or... Well, we're gonna increase it to 6 this turn. That's not good. I shouldn't have played. I should have read it before I placed the creature, but whatever. I'm gonna get myself more... No, I keep forgetting that it kills it. I didn't... Okay. I'm playing this one badly. I didn't realize that I placed the creature. I was like looking at like, oh, I get borrowed life. If I play 1-3... then that should survive. Yes. Now the cannon fodder has a 2-1, so if I place them, it will get this up to 7 minus 1 is 6. So that's not going to be super helpful. But I do need to do something. Counterattack deals 2 to all attackers, so basically counterattack will insta-kill my stuff. So let's place this mana pool koi. No, we don't want to attack, because if we attack with this, it will die from the counterattack. Yes, actually, because we don't want to be increasing the stomach content, so we would rather that it gets killed from the knuckleback than from this, because we need to get that to 0 to win. Okay, I'm gonna kill this, turn this into 9-7, which will allow me to... So now the stomach content is gonna go to 4. And I'm gonna place the mana pool. Now, right now, we don't actually want... Wait. So we gotta decide, are we trying to win on the stomach content? Because if we're trying to win on the stomach content, it might not be a good idea for me to hit. Because I'd rather take the pain from the swallow and lower their stomach content. If I move it up, then I can only take hit from the swallow once. So we're actually not gonna... Well, but 9... Because I could do 18... Because if we attack this turn, we can also attack next turn, which would allow us to do 18 by this. And then next turn, we could also do 5. Not this, because this would die with the knuckleback. So we would be able to do 23. No, I think we're better off not doing it. I think we're better off just taking the hits and getting this down. I can attack with... But again, is it worth attacking? I could attack with this guy. This guy will insta-die. I don't really care. And I can place an Overlord. So I should have played the Overlord first. So the fact that this dies is of utmost non-importance for me. Okay, so now it's gonna get to 3 turns. Now this will die next turn, which is a bit of a problem. If I attack with all of these, I could do 16 damage plus 3, so that's 19. Maybe we could have gone for the attacks. Now that I'm thinking, I'm like... But no, we will win in 3 turns. So let's just... Yeah, let's just wait. And because this is gonna increase, well, okay, it's gonna increase it by 1, decrease it by 1. No, it should have decreased it, no? Okay, 4 turns now. Actually, I'm not sure if we can win now the way I thought we can. I'm not sure why we got this 1-1 here. I guess I'll attack because I don't want these 1-1s to be hit by the swallows. So we would be rather if they just... Yeah. This is now down to 3. But the problem is this will die this turn. Okay. What if I play this? Okay. And I will attack with these 2. Maybe I'll attack with these 3. No, we'll attack with these 2. So it will stay at 3. We should have done the attack with the big guy, but that's okay. Now I could now attack with this to make sure that we don't get hit by the swallow thing. And I'll take the cannon fodder and I'll actually attack with the cannon fodder as well. So actually we're gonna let these 3 attack and get killed by the knuckleback. And now this guy is going to take 2 damage and we'll place some disciples. And that, okay, so actually we're gonna win on just the attacks. I was gonna win on this, but it's taking too long. We just, okay, now if we attack with everybody, I think we should be, yeah, it's enough. Good, yeah. I guess we shouldn't have bothered with the stamina contents. But it's a really, I really like that because it really allows you to win in a sort of unusual or different ways. I think that's pretty cool. When you reduce my mana cost, do it 3 times. Creatures gain more attack depending on the max life of the enemy. Ooh. End of turn. If awakened, deal 10 damage to the enemy. You become awakened once all enemy rage gauges have been filled. I think we'll take gain max mana. That seems better. Alright, well, we finished the demo. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, write down in the comments and you can click on the right towards some other games that we play on this channel. See you there. Bye bye.